Well, we know the winner of one half of the semi-final, the first one, which will be New Zealand versus one of these two. Well, don't take anything for certainty these days in sevens, believe me. There are so many upsets and so much levelling out at the top levels. They've played, what, 7 times, and they have beaten England before, have Tonga. Admittedly, it was 5 years ago in Adelaide. But just look at what they did yesterday. They beat Fiji, they beat Argentina, they drew with Wales, and they topped, for the first time, their pool. England there waiting with Greg Barden to lead them out. Here's the Tongan side then. Well, very much depending on the number one, Vaea Pateki, his 11th tournament. He's the man who makes things happen. The other experienced player, and he's played now his 7th tournament, is Jack Ram, who tries against Fiji that he scored. An England side, well, it's just what you'd expect, really. Their top lineup. Number 9, Christian Lewis-Pratt. Well, he's just the one real relative newcomer. Played 2 tournaments in Dubai, where England won. And this young lad, 21-year-old out of Wellington College, is really stepping up into that fly-half role that was so long the occupation of Ben Gollings. Well, Tonga, really, like Canada, were the big upsets of yesterday, weren't they?
Yes, and that's what's made this tournament and the HSBC tournament series so exciting. Teams are missing out on the cup competition when you expect them to be there.
Well, we saw the youngster, Christian Lewis-Pratt there he is. And the referee for this one is a local boy. Local boy is 26 now, James McPhail from Wellington himself. And he was raised on a dairy farm in the Manawatu region, youngest of 3 children, and a civil engineer by profession. And a very top-flight referee. Went to school not that far away, Palmerston Boys, North Boys High School. So here, the new fly-half, Christian Lewis-Pratt, as England bid with Tonga for a place in the Cup semi-final. Immediately, Vaea Pateki, their most experienced man, all relative in terms of experience. Pateki, the only man who's had 10 tournaments behind him, and you think some of the likes of England with Rodwell with 28 and Cracknell with 23, a lot more experience. Conditions not easy. It's quite a haze of drizzle, really, which is very uncomfortable. Slippery ball, slippery surface. Don't worry.
Be happy. Well, already with these conditions, we've seen 2 kicks in the first 60 seconds of this game.
And of course, we're going to see Tonga physical, aren't we? Yes. They're going to take England on up front, try and mince them, I guess. Holding here. Whereas England will try and keep it away from the rucks and mauls. But Tonga, we saw how effective they could be close up, closing down, going into contact. England will try and do the opposite. The conditions are not really in favour of the likes of England and South Africa, more so with Samoa, Tonga, who have their strength up front, really, and in their physicality. Well taken, though. This is Dan Norton. Well, he just saw the possibility of the bounce, slides in. Well, we had a sort of a strange finale last night, I thought, when South Africa played England, and no one seemed absolutely desperately earnest. And Dan Norton, I'm sure, maybe he was sort of just coasting himself, because both of them had qualified for the Cup quarter-finals, so it really didn't matter too much, and they put out the sort of the understudied, so to speak. And Dan Norton, well, he could have scored 3 or 4 tries, I think, but he didn't bother.
Yes. But that was brilliant timing from him. It looked as though that bouncing ball was covered by the Tongan sweeper, but all of a sudden it was Norton who had the ball on his arms. He timed his run at that ball perfectly. He's a man that the Tonga will try to keep the ball away from, and it's easier said than done, because he is such a speedster, such a lethal finisher. And watch for him. He is a key element of this game, without doubt. Now watch this again. Number 5 for Tonga, that was Latu, was waiting for the bounce. He looked as though he had it in control, and all of a sudden the ball wasn't there, but Norton was.
Yeah, very casual, John, from the Tongan sweeper, and they'll address that, I'm certain. They'll try and get their hands on the ball, and they've made a mistake again.
Thanks, Willie.
Former Tongan international himself over on the sideline, just trying to keep dry.
Cross ball by Lewis Pratt. Not a bad option here. It's back to Norton again. Inside to Issou N'Damu. Well, he's been a hero time and again. The man who scored the winning try here in 2009 against New Zealand in the Cup final. This is Norton again, weaving his way. Beautiful runner to watch in full flight. But Tonga resisting well here on their own goal line. And all credit to them. And they had a wonderful day yesterday. I mean, that battle between themselves and Fiji, well, that was a great performance because they don't get that much experience. They did well in Gold Coast when they beat Kenya, but nothing like they did yesterday, which was exceptional. Didn't lose to anyone. And they've got 6 of the players from the Gold Coast, but Sateki Tuipulotu has said he wants to give experience in these few tournaments they have to bring in new players. So he's got 4 new players in his squad here. As I said, there's no one really with much experience other than Sateki and Jack Ram.
Engage.
They being based in Tonga.
Unsteady.
Sorry, I didn't catch the referee's word there.
Unsteady at the scrum.
Unsteady. Ball's in touch with the player just. No, England have taken the quick one. Matt Turner, he's been sharp.
Damu is such a threat. Tonga know him well, and he needs 2 on him all the time.
Barton to Turner. Try. It's quite nice, actually. If you get within 5 metres, you can slide in, can't you? And that's sensibly what they're doing. We saw Norton do it. We saw Matt Turner there. He's become a key individual within the England setup now. To gone better season by season. A guy who, his early years of rugby, of course, were all in South Africa. Bishops in Cape Town, and then went to UCT and Windberg boys as well. This is good.
Yep, and very straightforward. And this, it's treacherous conditions out there. Well, it's not straightforward conditions. And I think Tonga might have gone into this game, Willie, thinking that the conditions might suit them more than England.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things with regards to what happened yesterday. It's not happening today. The conversion is good. Yesterday they didn't fall off as many tackles as they have, and they weren't throwing the 50-50 passes that seem to have appeared today, which is very strange. Turner won't score too many easier than that, and very little that Jack Ram could actually do. Playing the game in the wrong half of the field, and just those mistakes that I mentioned, Nigel.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a 12-0 lead into the last minute of the first half. Now possession here, Daniel Kilioni.
Hands.
Of course, interesting thing, in a way, unlike the Cooked players, most of the Tongans, we'll come back to you in a minute, Willie, but most of them are based at home, so to speak. This is Turner again, under the bar. Can they hold him up?
Not forward. Not forward
it was. And I was just thinking, you know, are they managing in a way to keep their sort of their squad together as a 7th side within Rarotonga?
Within Tonga, yeah, Nuku'alofa, the main island there, Nigel. And,
sorry, not Cooks, yeah.
Yep, that's the coach there, Sateki Tuipulotu, teammate of the '95 Rugby World Cup in South Africa. And he was asked to, he's been appointed over the last couple of weeks, and he says that he wants to try and get on the circuit. That's the main thing. That's their goal.
Yes.
Is to try and be a regular team on this wonderful HSBC circuit.
Well, if they can just do what they did.
Ball's not out. Offside.
In that famous Cup semi-final they made here 4 years ago, and they're on the break now. But the breakdown goes into the hands now of James Rodwell, out into Greg Barden. Barden steps inside, and the England skipper sets up a pretty useful half-time score for England here.
Well, unfortunately for Tonga, they broke out. They've been inside their 22 for most of this first half, and they turned the ball over yet again. Another tackler falling off early on against Damu, and straightforward for Barden. So 3 tries in the first half, and 2 of those converted. England lead at the break by 19-0.
And there's the doctor, Dr. Lee. Evan Lee. I'm not quite sure what that stethoscope is connected to, but
takes off. Go get support running on the seat for you. Yeah? Get your contact there in the rock area. Yeah? I'll be clean out of my seat.
Sateki.
Let's go, let's take it to him.
Yes, they haven't been as effective at the breakdown as they were yesterday. England are beating them hands down there. We talked about hangovers on the second day, and Tonga seem to have one at the moment. They're unable to get into this game.
Ben Ryan, pretty, I think, pretty satisfied with that first half. Alongside him there, Russell Earnshaw plays a big part in the build-up of the teams. Well, it's a pity that we've got the damp, but doesn't seem to upset anyone. Still a good party. We'll build and build as the day goes on. And that's a useful lead for England. Well, they won't want to give out too much effort. New Zealand will be their next opponents, almost certainly. Mind you, we've seen turnarounds of even 19-0 at half-time in the past. 7 minutes then for Tonga to try and get into the game, really. Daniel Pilioni, well, immediately good running here with Halafihi. Pilioni can't hold it. It's like a piece of soap, isn't it, at times here.
And Nigel, I just went over to Sateki Tuipulotu down here on the sideline. I said, what was the message that you told the guys? He said that they had so much self-belief yesterday. He told them to believe in themselves again, and it's the last 7 minutes against England, and just back themselves.
Well, they started pretty reasonably there. Rodwell, key man at the line-out. Martin Turner, Pratt to Damu. Norton still there. Got to be quick to have boots that colour.
Couldn't go missing the Australian team.
Entry on the side. Yeah, a bit hard there.
Through the last seat, please.
So Norton with that first try. Hasn't had many opportunities since, but England just seem to be doing enough at the moment. Tonga aren't able to get anything constructive going that's testing England. But as Willie said at half-time, belief in themselves is important.
Substitution.
But a couple of opportunities in the first half, and they coughed the ball up, turned it over to England and lost momentum. So they really need to start well in the second half. 5.5 minutes to go. It's all uphill for Tonga. They've done so well to get to the cup competition, but they need to want to take it a step further than this.
Certainly a big advantage for England is their continuity of selection here. They only got the one man changed from their last 3 tournaments. That's the arrival of the new boy, Tom Mitchell, who did well yesterday, scored the try in each round. He's still on the bench at the moment, Oxford University player. But it's that continuity that's such a big part now of the game.
Pause.
It's all very well having lots of individual talent, but teamwork is so important. Well, chance now with Tonga. Pateki sends it wide. Poor pass, really. Kalifi Latu snatched at it. You've got a problem with that slippery ball. Footing as well there, I noticed, with Kilioni.
Well,
There's Damu.
Sorry, Nigel, I was going to say the thing for Tonga is that they need to put the hands into their playmaker, Via Poteki. The more time that the ball is in his hands, then Tonga has a greater chance, because he can turn nothing into something.
Yeah, we saw him yesterday, exactly so. 3 tries, and also, of course, the very useful goal kicker as well.
Engage!
Pateki played in the Gold Coast with the Tongan side. 6 changes from that. So again, it's not the continuity. This is Norton. Here's Pateki, the one-man covering. Corner flagging there as Norton comes in, following up with the tackle. Good breakaway though, for Finau. This is their best breakout so far. Now with Tukuapu, Kilioni. Bit of continuity of possession. Oh gosh, that's almost Red Cross, wasn't it? Man and ball at the same time. Fafita switched by Latu into the hands of Pateki. Jack Ram really hasn't had much opportunity to go through. He's disappointed. Ball went
I think he's going to say that it went backwards on him, but The referee and the
Seemed a
call
bit lucky
came from
there.
the touchline. Yeah, I'm sure.
Unlucky, I think. Yeah, disappointed there. That's what Jack Ram is receiving the pass. He didn't touch it, did he? That didn't go forward, did it?
Well, that was
Good
my
question.
initial impression.
Good question. Well,
Crouch.
instant decisions have to be
Touch.
made. We get the chance
Pause.
to see it back, and
Engage.
then it's not convincing. Don't see many dive passes these days. That was Matt Turner. Here's the British soldier, the Fijian British soldier, Sohan Damu, to Norton. And Matt Turner, nicely done, nice arc, good angle. That really takes England out of reach.
Too many missed tackles. Willie Lose commented on that in the first half from Tonga. England have a 100% tackle record at the moment. Tonga is 53%, so they've missed almost as many as they've made. And here it was so easy for Turner, and he scores his second try of this match. England coasting at the moment against Tonga and looking forward to a battle against New Zealand in the semi-finals of the Cup.
Yeah, looking very comfortable
1, 3
here.
and
No
4,
real
son.
pressure. They've had some tough battles with Tonga in the past. I was thinking, 2 years ago they played against Tonga and England won 24-19. And prior to that, of course, was the win that Tonga, the one win over England that Tonga achieved. But this time, no, it's been very one-sided.
I suppose looking at Ben Ryan, one of the things he'll be pondering is this the sort of workout they wanted going into the semi-finals?
Punish White.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't really
Advantage
want
over.
too much of an easy win, do you, in the sense? You can let you sit back on your laurels a bit. Lewis Pratt staying on. This is John Brake, back in the squad after a broken finger. Now Watson, Marcus Watson, another sort of understudy of Gollings in the past, and fly half. Now the new man who's, well, new insofar as he came back to England, Rob Vickerman, from the game of 15, switched back, having actually first played his sevens rugby in the Paris tournament 2005.
Leave it.
Big asset. Well, half chance here for Daniel Kilioni. More than half a chance. England aren't going to bother to change, so their effort has been rewarded in the end, in the last 20 seconds or so of this game. And there, a try, a second in this tournament for the youngest man in the side, Daniel Kilioni of the Havalou Bulldogs. Just 18-year-old, and a moment to remember for him anyway.
This really was the best period of play from Tonga. Even though England had the ball, Tonga seemed to all of a sudden get another gear, and they just forced England back. England went back 50 metres with the ball in hand, and the tackles were made, and they caused pressure. They popped the ball up, caused the turnover, and Kilioni was away with it. A couple of wayward kicks in there as well. However, the result was good for Tonga, but far too late. 26 points to 7. England go through to the semi-final. So a very good performance from England. Really just did enough. They scored the early points, got control. They're through to the semi-final.
Dan, congratulations. Is that the ideal preparation heading into a semi?
Yeah, it was a good start. You know, we started pretty well. You know, we had a good rest from last night after losing to South Africa, but we rebuilt, and you know, like I said, we just started well. All we wanted really was a win, getting in the semis now, and you know, onwards and upwards really.
How difficult were those conditions out there?
Yeah, you can see the ball was spurting up everywhere. There's going to be a lot of scrums today, and you know, studs are needed quite well, and but, you know, we dealt with the conditions pretty well, I thought, and we scored some good tries, and you know, I think we're happy enough for the win. Yeah.
You've got a couple of happy hunting grounds. Dubai obviously is one of them. Also here in Wellington. What do you like about this stadium so much?
I think you just look around, you can see all the fancy dress, and you know, it's nice to see some the girls are all dressed up and everybody's enjoying themselves, and you know, everybody's having a good time. So we kind of thrive on that, and the atmosphere is amazing. So that helps a lot.
Thanks for talking to us. Good luck in the semi.
All right, thanks a lot.